Most people remember the Tohoku earthquake of March 11, 2011 from gruesome videos and news reports. The devastation from the ensuing tsunami and subsequent meltdowns of the Fukushima nuclear plant left 19,000 people dead, destroyed or damaged more than 1 million buildings, and more than 4 million households lost power. In addition, 400,000 people lost their homes. Though most of the rubble has been cleared, nearly 3 years later, and most of the displaced are still living in temporary shelters. Hundreds of thousands of evacuees are uncertain if they will ever be able to return to their homes near the power plant due to radiation in the soil and water. Due to a lack of work, thousands of these evacuees face a harsh existence. Yes, even in Japan, a country viewed upon as rich and developed, people are living from day to day. Seeking to lend some much-needed assistance to these people, Cause and Effect set out to find a local partner that could help us deliver aid in the most effective, hands-on manner possible. Soon enough, we found exactly what we were looking for.
Okay, so this is the Save Hanami Summer Project. It was started by August Trigger-Staminer, who is from New Zealand, but is currently living in Tokyo and a business owner there. He started this project in, I think it was May of 2011, when he heard from his family who lives in Fukushima Prefecture that there was people almost starving to death and that the government couldn't get any of the assistance to them.
Having found the ideal partner organization, Cause and Effect jumped to action, financing an entire delivery for the residents of Minamasoma. For just $1,000, we were able to rent the truck and van, buy the food and supplies that were not already donated, and pay for the gas and tolls needed to drive to and from Fukushima.
Alright, so we're here at Second Harvest, which is a food co-op in Tokyo, and this is the collection point for all of the donated food and all the food that we're purchasing to bring up to Fukushima. So as you can see, we've got all sorts of soups and rice. We've got a lot of produce coming, potatoes and onions and mushrooms and everything. So,
coordinating over 3,000 pounds of food and supplies is a logistical challenge, but our volunteer team was up to the task.
We're going to close up the truck and we're going to hit the highway up north.
The next day, when we approached Fukushima, the extent of the destruction was painfully obvious. Inside the radiation zone, we witnessed entire towns that had been literally wiped off of the map, with only house foundations, a washed-out sofa, or a spare shoe, left as an eerie testament to the hive of human activity that existed here before the disaster. In the vast majority of these communities, nothing has been rebuilt, and nothing will be for a very long time.
Here above some of the villages that were destroyed by the tsunami, and there was a big temple here, and when the community found out that the tsunami was coming, they all came to higher ground as they were instructed to do, and they took refuge in the temple here. Unfortunately, nobody knew the magnitude of the tsunami, and as you can see, it came in. There's a hill here. The tsunami came in and it was over 30 meters high, so it swept away all the homes that were here, and it also destroyed the temple that was here with all the people inside of it. And those people came down from the villages that were down here below, which are no longer here. So they've put up a little shrine here where the old temple was, and this is kind of a memorial spot for what has become a very sobering experience here in Minamasoma. You can see here, this is one of the radiation detectors that the government has installed. It's hard to read right now because of the symbol, but you know, life goes on. As you can see behind there, there's still some nice gardens. People are still growing crops. We are within the 30-kilometer radius of the reactor, so levels here are higher.
Okay, so each town, each village, and how many homes, and how many people. Okay, so the total here, we're delivering to 850 people, 355 households.
from a few different communities, some of which are their homes are in the radiation zone that's prohibited. They've been evacuated, and some of the families here are from a community that the homes were destroyed by the tsunamis. Many dogs here. Wow, たくさん犬。これは全部OK。ありがとうございます。どういたしまして。So we are here in Koike Daini, and this is one of the 6 communities that we're helping today. There's 26 families here, 78 people that are receiving this.
今日運いいですね。これ来るときはこうしちゃう。いやー。
This woman recounts how the tsunami destroyed her home and the fact that her children have all relocated to other parts of Japan to seek jobs, housing, and stability. This family explained the difficulty of being uprooted for years.
Water got into the foundation of the house and it made the house tilt downward. This is the 7th place they've lived.
Wow.
In two and a half years. First they went to the community center, the evacuation center, and then the Fukushima Daiichi exploded, and then they moved again, and then they kept moving because of those fears. They didn't want to move. It's just, they've had to move several times.
Oh, hi.
Alright, so this here is a house for 4 people. It's, as you can see, it's pretty tight quarters. Kitchen. We got everything in here. We got the toilet, we've got the shower. Okay. And then we've got kind of a living room area here.
Because of the inaction, it's almost 3 years now, the inaction of the government, the prefectural government, local government, they don't really feel they have a future. So they just have to do what they have to do to survive day to day.
Even though the residents of Minamasoma have been dealt a horrible fate, their family and communal bonds have kept their spirits high. Despite the disaster, life goes on. Unfortunately, Cause and Effect was able to deliver some much-needed food, supplies, and smiles to the people of Fukushima. Thank you to all of our donors for making this wonderful project possible.